Sales for me are funky, but you just can't let it bring you down. And this video is going to be a little bit different. I'm just going to go over some of the things that I'm doing. May not learn a whole lot, but at least you get to see what's happening with Flipping Ain't Easy and dealing with the current climate of reselling. So let's get to that here. Without any further ado, let's go. Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. As you can see here, it's John with Flipping Ain't Easy. I'm sure most of you already know that. And it's been one of those weeks. It's just hard to explain. I mean, we're talking Friday. We're having $1,000 day. And that's where like double where we want to be. And that's great, right? But not so much this week. Been really a slow week. And, you start to think, is a number of things like what can I do differently? I always try to think of the things that I can do first because of slow sales. Is it the stuff I'm listing? Is it the economy? Is it the pricing that I have in place? Is it stuff that I'm listing that maybe just seasonal and we're getting out of the summer season? Hard to say. And, we have a lot of things that we're kind of dealing with. But one thing that I'm noticing is that only a few weeks ago, my account was down to about 170 listings. And, I don't carry a huge account with thousands of listings. I just not the way I roll, not the type of stuff that I have for sale, larger items, right? I just don't have the capacity to deal with that. So 200 on the main store is about where we are normally trying to be. And as of today, we're like right there. We've caught up from 171 to 200. Now, the last 6 months, it's been this game with eBay where I'd sell 3 items, I'd list 4 or 5, and then here comes 5 sales, I'd list 3. And I would gradually get up to where I want to be, which is over 200 listings, sort of playing catch up. And I don't mind playing the tug of war game with eBay in that, I'm getting a lot of sales. So I just got to do the best that I can to keep the inventory up. Because when you have a slow store, inventory is everything. If you just kind of take it easy and allow your store to diminish, then you have fewer and fewer opportunities and you're not going to get the sales that you want to have. So it's important to keep replenishing, but not only replenishing it, but replenishing it with good stuff. I think a lot of times we think about listing in numbers and we're more concerned about the number of listings that we're putting up, but we're not really focused at all on the value. How much money are you putting into your store? Sales, the sales value of that item. How much are you putting into your store? And many people can tell you how many they listed yesterday, how many items they listed today, but most people can't tell you the approximate amount of money that they put into their store. And I think that's probably where the focus really needs to be. And I've said this many, many times, but I continually try to focus on that. So when I list, say, 5 to 7 items in a day, it may not sound like a whole lot, but if my average sale price is, 75 to $100, then it's not too shabby. Like today, and this video, like I said in the intro, it's not going to be anything where I'm going to say, hey, this is the thing that you need to be doing to fix your sales, because to be honest with you, I don't know the answer. If I'm being straight with you guys, we're talking a slower economy, right? I think some people agree, some will disagree. I mean, I can only call the balls and strikes the way I see them. And not only from my lens, but the comments, like on the live stream comments from Monday, a lot of people are seeing like something's just not right lately. And it may be that, people are just tapped out. So you got that. But now that's not saying every buyer, can't afford to buy your items. I'm saying that if the buyer pool was, 2.1 million buyers that were actively on eBay yesterday, that's just a rough number. I have no idea. It could be that this last week, there was only 1.7 million on a given day. And that's a problem, because if, the number of listings, your competition stays the same or grows, then it's going to be even harder to get the sales that we're all competing for. And that's why I think pricing is very, very important. But I wanted to show you, just give you an idea of what I deal with on a daily basis. This is an item that I picked out of my pallet that I picked up on Tuesday, and it was the top item on the pallet. MSRP, I think I said in the initial video, it was like $500 or $600. It's actually a $400 unit, brand new. But of course, when you're dealing with returns, you can get anything from just broken, beat to hell, all the way to brand new, and all different levels of condition in between. So I wanted to show you what that looks like, what my day looks like, what kind of stuff that I have to deal with. And this is just one snapshot of the effort that I make in a lot of the items that I sell that I get into these pallets. So, humor me, check out this part of the video. And of course, I want to know what you guys think down below, but check it out. So you can see from this right here, that right there, I'm not even going to go on the other side of this aisle to show you what else I have, but this is today's load that I picked up. Got a Dyson there I got to mess with, but right now my focus is on Breville, and I'm making this video to just show you some of the things that we get and why it just takes so much longer for me to list than I'd like. Now in this particular case, Breville's a great brand. It's a smart oven air fryer pro. High dollar value on this particular unit, MSRP wise. I think it's like $600 or $700. Maybe it's a little lower than that. I don't know. But I know the resale value on a used unit, even if I'm lucky enough to get open box, is quite high. The resale value on Breville's is pretty good. Now I pan over here. Here's the unit. And now, pardon my mess here, but this is just how I flow. I got a mess going on here, and I'm not afraid of it showing you guys. But you can see here, there's a little ding there, right? I've already powered this unit on, and I've tested the heating element. It does get hot like you would expect. But look what they did here. You could see that it's a very dirty unit. And it's pretty sad that nowadays people don't even want to clean their stuff. So all this needs is a cleaning. And aside from this deal here, this should fetch a pretty good return. So my initial thought was parts and repair. Here's what they did. They swapped out their old unit for a clean one, right? They left me with the instructions. They did swap out their bottom tray because you can see there's dirt there. I can clean that up, right? So I'll put that up here. They didn't even bother to swap out their old, looks like racks here, which is great. They left me with new racks. Except this one looks a little used, right? Not bad though, right? This is a used unit. So what do you expect? My job is to clean this up the best that I can so that it's sort of like selling a car, right? How many people here, here's a dirty rack right there, you can see the dirt. How many people here would sell a car without washing it, right? You want to present the item the best you can without going too far out of pocket, but you want to present the item the best you can, and make it appealing for someone to buy your item. So if someone was to look at the pictures, and believe me, I'm going to put these pictures in here, whether I clean it or not, I'm going to have the pictures in there because I want to show the buyer exactly what they're getting. And I would rather have this photo here. This is going to be the photo of the unit here. Want it to show clean guards. These are the heating mechanism guards. And I want the inside to be clean as well. And those mechanisms up there need to be clean. So people are lazy. They don't want to just clean up after themselves, right? Years of just letting this stuff cake. And I went to the Dollar Tree and spent no more than $7, and I got a bunch of cleaning supplies because I've been using the ones from our kitchen and I don't want to do that. So I got some orange
These are off brands. These are 99-cent Dollar Tree store brands, but they do the trick. They're just as good as a lot of the brands that you'll find. But one thing I was looking for was these soap pads. These soap pads work pretty well. They're steel wool soap pads with soap built in on them. So I'm going to be using these to really get in here and clean this thing up. A little elbow grease, literally. This ain't great, guys, but I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time really getting in there. But as compared to what it was before, it's a lot better, and it's not going to be as hideous when I list this. Now, when I list this thing, of course, I'm going to show a picture of this right there, right? So they see what's in the oven. But, like this rack was coated with stuff. This is the other side of the onion, right? So you got any crumbs, it catches. Now I got to hit that up maybe with a little Scotch Brite, clean that up. Didn't see that. But, we get the rack, clean this little rack up pretty good, right? So after a while, to add these other ones, it's going to look like a pretty presentable oven right after I kind of clean the outside a little bit. Now I got to correct myself. This is a MSRP $399 unit. And that would probably be my max on spending the kind of time that I spent on this. I saw the comps were anywhere between 150 and 250 with various degrees of free shipping and shipping. I'm probably going to try to hit it up for somewhere around a little over 2 plus shipping, and then just take offers maybe as low as 150 on this thing. So that's kind of what we do. We measure whether or not it's worth the effort, the juice is worth the squeeze. If this was a $50 unit, it would probably be, well, because it works, it would be sold for very, very cheap and or thrown in the trash, just depending on the market. Market dictates everything, and even on stuff like this, the market's going to tell me if it's worth my time to clean it. So how do you think I did? Not great. I mean, you still have a lot of this going on. This is like embedded in the metal. It's not coming out even with the bright pads, or whatever you call them, the wool soap pads. So yeah, that's just one example of what we do and why I don't list 1,000 items in an hour, and how flipping ain't easy. In this case, cleaning ain't easy.
So after that was all said and done, we got that thing listed. I think we listed that thing at $219 because I realized my 10% markdown sale was going to kick in, bringing it down to about 190 something. And then if they utilize the coupon, that's going to bring it down 10% more. So I know the comps range anywhere from like 150 to 229. That's free shipping, right? But believe it or not, before making this video, that thing sold for 197 plus shipping. So whatever I did it right, and took a lot of good photos for the buyer to consider. In fact, there's a dent on the back. Took a couple angles of that dent so that it's like not a hidden thing if they're looking at the photos. Now let's hope they're looking at the photos, but that's just the risk that you take. Sometimes you have an item that has issues, and you just have to hope that the buyer is going to read and look at the photos. So we'll see what happens with that. We'll mail that out tomorrow, but I just thought you guys would want to know that that item sold. So it did salvage my day. I was heading towards my third $200 day. That's not where I want to be. I want to be closer to 500. That brought me over the $400 mark, like 420, 430 after their shipping. So that's good news, right? And I'm just going to keep plugging away, guys. And I'm really finding that I'm running out of room, like I was telling you earlier, between all the large stuff that I'm listing. I'm getting another pallet in. As you're watching this, I'm probably picking up that pallet as you see this video. And it's something that I'm going to address very, very soon. And I might even make a video about it. I think I have an idea of what I'm going to do. I'm not going to spill the beans here, but I'm sure you have suggestions down below and have made suggestions about what I should do down below. And it's about time I take action. My only concern is taking action when sales are slow. Is that the thing to do, or do we just keep running the business as normal? And I'm leaning towards just continuing to run the business as normal, because if I run out of space, it's like that goldfish in a in a bowl. They're only going to adapt to their surroundings and only grow. Put that same goldfish in the koi pond, they're going to get huge. And that's kind of what I want to do. I don't want to get huge, but I do know that there's a certain dollar amount that I want to achieve. And storing everything here, the stuff that I'm picking up in the pallets and the stuff that's listed, it's just not feasible to grow any more than I am. So I'm kind of going to be stagnant here unless I make some changes. So I'll be talking about that here pretty soon. But after I listed this item, Archie called me, Archie Biscuit Butt, and we went over to a storage unit. He's all the way on the other side of town in Henderson, and he bought a storage unit auction for $20. And we headed over there and we checked out. He's like, hey, come over, hang out with me, check out the storage unit with me, since it's only down the street from you. So I spent about an hour over there with him. We went through it, and yeah, pretty good surprise. He pulled out a PS3, a lot of Raiders memorabilia. So, he's a Chiefs fan, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because he's not buying it for himself. He's buying it to resell. Now, right now, Raiders aren't doing so great, my team back there. But you'll find that it doesn't matter to a lot of fans. During football season, they have a team. They're going to support their team, win or lose, and get that stuff up, guys. So if you have merchandise, like on the live, Jenna was criticizing me for the Redskins hat that I bought, the Washington Redskins hat. One person said that it's probably going to get zeroed. Well, not only did it not get zeroed, it did sell. I picked it up for $1, sold it for 19. I think it was 19, $18, $19 plus shipping. And it sold within 2-3 days of buying it. So that ain't bad. Whenever you can buy something that flips quickly, that is ideal. I would rather have the fast flip than the slow burn, or whatever the hell you want to call it. But this trip to the auction was very, very interesting. And one thing I learned, for those of you who already buy auctions, maybe go into doing the storage unit auctions, where you go in and bid on abandoned storage units. And this is not a new thing. It's been a thing that's been going on for quite some time. But one thing that I did not know, and maybe it's just ignorance, but I'm sure many of you already know this, that, of course, the storage unit is auctioning off this unit so that they can recoup what the tenant or the person that left the stuff there to repay what they owe the storage unit. And if they only owe $200, but let's say the storage unit goes for $400, well, that person actually gets the difference after their bill is paid. I didn't know that. And of course, what they tell us is that the storage unit cannot get in there and alter anything. They can't cross the threshold. And it is in the tenant's best interest, and I think this is illegal according to what Archie told me, but I thought it was interesting. You could have someone that could stage, like, wow, there's a PlayStation in here, there's a box of this there, and really drive up the price of that auction. They call it staging, and make money that way. Not only is their bill paid for what they owe, but they get the difference, right? Now you're buying that unsuspecting it. You're not suspecting an empty box. Can't prove it either. And, this person ends up kind of scamming you, which is, I only tell you this because I thought it was interesting. If you do buy storage units, storage lockers or storage units, to get the contents inside to resell, just be kind of leery of that. It's almost like if the unit looks too good to be true, it might be. So just thought that was very interesting. It's not like I'm going to be getting into storage units, but Archie does dabble in that. And I do find it very, very interesting, some of the things that people leave behind instead of, making one final trip and at least getting the valuable stuff out, right? But there's good stuff. I'm sure this person would have wanted it back. Sentimental stuff too. So just thought I'd share that with you guys. We're going to be making a video here very soon. I'm going to be maybe making a change within my business but I just haven't decided how I'm going to do it and all the details. But as soon as I figure this thing out, I've got to really figure this thing out, how I'm going to continue growing when I don't have the room to where it's feasible. We're talking about where it's not going to take, you know, a good chunk of my day to get my merchandise. We're talking, you know, creating a process where I don't really have one outside of my home, creating a process that's going to allow me to have a daily routine that involves a way to grow my business. And currently, I just don't have that. I'm kind of tapped out. So slow sales are going to happen. I'm dealing with them, but the business keeps going. I'm continuing to list my items. I'm continuing to buy more items, and I'm finding that maybe the slowdowns making it kind of forcing my hand, but I'm not going to stop, right? And figuring out how to make your business grow despite the slow sales, continuing to get sales even though sales have left the building. Well, that's a tough question to answer, and each one of us is going to have to figure that out for ourselves. But doing that is yet another example of how flipping ain't easy. I want you guys to have an excellent rest of your day. By the way, eBay Open, if you've not registered, I don't know if it's too late by the time you're watching this video, but be sure to check out eBay Open. Yeah, there's a lot of seminars that's going on today and tomorrow, Wednesday and Thursday, but maybe it's worth running them the background while you're working just to maybe pick up some nuggets. And I say nuggets in that maybe they're going to give us maybe a bone here and there, like, oh, this is what we're doing, or maybe they'll say, hey, this is the best practice that we have for doing this, and maybe listen to some of the things that they emphasize, pick up on some of their recommendations, because I really think that anything they push in these seminars or workshops are worth listening to, because they're the ones that run this site, right? And I certainly, when given the chance, I don't know what kind of time I'm going to have tomorrow, but certainly if I pick up any nuggets, I'll be sure to try to share them with you as well. So guys, want to thank you for being here. Thank you for watching this video, and we will see you guys on the live on Friday, 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern. And until then, take care and go get those sales.